Good morning, Rams.
Welcome back to this week's K-Ram.
This is Tyson Kelly.
And this Darius Milchek Benevsky.
Tomorrow's Veterans Day, so we begin today's episode by honoring those that serve our country.
Here at Rampart, we have staff and student family who have served with the military.
The following story is dedicated to those honored members of our community.
So I was in the Army for 27 years.
I served for 4 years.
I served for 21 years in the United States Marine Corps.
I was in the Navy for 5 years.
4 years.
I served in the Air Force for 21 years.
I served for 8.5 years.
I served for 22 years.
4 active, 4 reserve.
22 and a half years.
Veterans Day is time for us to celebrate all of our retired armed forces. Here at Rampart, we have many veterans among the staff. They have agreed to share what it is they enjoyed about their time in the military and why they did what they did.
Joined the Army as a combat medic. Working in the medical field, you can kind of choose which path you want to go down. So I joined as a combat medic, and then I ended up going to dental school, became a dental assistant, and then I eventually became a dental hygienist.
I did artillery. I was in the Navy, and my rate was aviation ordnance. So they trained me to build bombs and missiles.
I did intel, so I collected information on the bad guys and then presented it to generals and stuff so they knew what to do, when to do it.
So I did a lot of things in the Marine Corps. So my primary MOS, or my primary job, was communications. So I worked with telephones, computers, radios, satellites.
I was security forces in the Air Force, so I was a police officer, and I worked Special Operations Command North.
I was a cyber operations officer, so basically providing secure and unsecure communications, satellite communications, fiber optics stuff, a lot of technical stuff to make sure that people were able to stay in contact all over the world, no matter where they were.
In the Air Force, I was security forces, which is like military police, and then the rest of my career I was military intelligence.
So I joined the Navy. Officially, I was going to be a machinist mate an aviation machinist mate to work on F-18s. Ended up working with the Marines as a security detail and did a lot of stuff around Miramar and Pendleton and San Diego with the Marines.
The medical field. I started with optometry and ophthalmology, and from there I did other medical careers in a sense, like EMT. We got trained and certified to be EMT techs.
I was one of those kids that joined after 9/11. I saw it happen and was deciding that that was my future. So
I joined to set myself up for a good future. College at the time wasn't the best fit for me, so I had to find the right path for me, and there's a lot of different ways you can go, whether it's college or trade school, military, just called for.
I wasn't going to go to college. I definitely didn't have the grades to go to college. I needed a job because I had a kid at the time. So I figured the military would be a stable place for me to join and have benefits and some stable pay.
The military actually, or the Army in that case, pretty much took me wherever I needed to go or wherever I wanted to go.
The camaraderie, I think, was the best, and the experience and the challenge of being able to actually do the things that you wouldn't think that you'd be able to do, kind of push yourself to those limits.
Certainly, I got to travel the world. I got to go I was on almost every continent in the world except Antarctica.
The camaraderie family. It's like your family away from family. You get to know so many people from different backgrounds, regions.
Making a lot of friends, meeting new people, and traveling around the country. Or not even just the country, but around the world.
If given an opportunity to do it again, I would do it again in a heartbeat.
A lot of great travel, saw a lot of interesting things, and got to witness history firsthand. It was a really exciting career, and I don't regret a minute of it.
If you see any of our veterans in the halls, make sure to thank them for their service. This has been Thomas Monty reporting for Kram.
If you see any of these teachers in the hall, be sure to thank them for their service.
Also, don't forget to observe the moment of silence tomorrow at 11:11.
Rampart High School has turned 40 this year. The building was built in 1982 and opened in 1983.
We broke open the archive to find photos and stories about Rampart's history over these 40 years.
Rampart is the second oldest high school in District 20 and is celebrating its 40th year anniversary.
KRAM takes a look at the history of our school.
When I first started here, the population was about 1,600 kids, and so the halls were just a mess. You know, trying to walk through during passing periods, and it was just crazy with kids all over.
When I came here, the thing I remember most is how crowded the halls were and how tall everybody was. I felt like I was a midget in the midst of giants.
When I first started at Rampart, our student population was mostly neighborhood. It was a community neighborhood school. I believe now we have a much higher percentage of students that choice in from all over the city, which gives us, again, more diversity. So that's the major shift in the population.
To my knowledge, there's been two major renovations. The first one was adding on the pool and the wrestling room and the racquetball courts, which are gone now. The racquetball courts are. And then the second one was this wing. And this wing came on in early 2000. And when I got here, we had like 5 portables right here where the wing is and out around the parking lot. It was actually my drafting students that designed the wing. And so they wanted to get rid of all the portables and to get better technology. And so that's why we designed this wing.
Some of the original Rampart still remains. We're still an academically motivated school. AP, we've added IB programs over the years. And academic success is very important to Rampart and to our students. I think in general, the culture, that part of the culture is the same. Where it's changed is, again, our diversity and the clubs, activities, even some of the sports that we've added over the years gives us more diversity.
There's been some weird changes along the way. I think our culture has gone more away from everybody with college plans to now college, tech, trade schools, military, or just going into the workforce. And back in the day, everybody that came through here, all they were hearing was, got to go to college, got to go to college. Now there's so many more options for kids to pursue their own path. It's a lot different.
Thanks to all the teachers and staff who have been with us for a long time. This has been Jack DeFranco reporting for KRAM.
Happy 40th. Hope there are many more great years of excellence.
Last weekend, KRAM students flew across the country to learn new techniques for excellence in journalism and compete with nearly 5,000 other journalism students for national level honors.
This event is the National High School Journalism Conference, and it happened in Boston this year. It is held jointly by the Journalism Educator Association and the National Scholastic Press Association.
The nice thing about journalism students is that you can count on them to document their journey to Boston.
On November 1st through the 5th, 4 students from KRAM went to the JEA NSPA National Journalism Conference in Boston. This is a yearly journalism competition in which student journalists from all over the country come together to learn about journalism and compete against one another.
You can only become a better student journalist by exposing yourself to more new ideas and new techniques. And the national competition is an awesome way for my students to go and not only learn and get sessions, but also see where their skills lie against the rest of the nation.
And then that interaction with either advisors or other students allows them to grow in their work. And I find that a lot of students who attend these conferences might find that this is a potential career choice, which changes and alters their entire life path.
Finding new materials and working on them back at home to make not only my work, but my newscasts, sportscasts, whatever, better.
In the NSPA Best of Show, KRAM placed 7th in the nation in broadcast news, with several individual awards going to competing students and the Rising Star Award going to Miss Bailey.
Getting 7th place right at the beginning of the year for one of the first episodes we did, I think that's a good indication that from now on we're going to be doing pretty well.
I'm proud of the work KRAM does, whether we win awards or not. So to me, the best part of the awards ceremony is when a kid wins and the expression on their face. I think that's a bread and butter moment for all teachers.
Altogether, individuals in KRAM got 1st and 2nd place in Broadcast Feature Story in the Nation, 2 JEA Superior Awards, and 1 honorable mention.
When my name popped up for 2nd place in News Feature, I couldn't really comprehend it until I had the award in hand. But it felt really good because all of my hard work paid off and all of the stress that I had those few weeks were definitely worth it.
I've definitely been working towards a superior rating all 4 years of this. It's kind of been my goal. I just felt very accomplished and I feel like my goal was met.
Though recognition is important, the true purpose of journalism is much more than that. Journalism is meant to tell stories that otherwise wouldn't have been shared.
A lot of kids now are really shy and they don't want to tell people about themselves, and I think that everybody has a story, whether it's big or small, and I think that everybody's story should be shared.
If at the end of a student journalism piece like the Kram does, you go, wow, I had no idea that so-and-so did that, I think we've succeeded somehow. We've connected another part of our community to the rest of the community, and that's what kind of makes us Rampart, makes us strong.
You're never too young to find your creative voice. Even just in high school, there's lots of events happening that people need to talk about, people need to be aware of, and journalism can help bring light to those kinds of situations.
Congratulations to the students a part of this trip and students in Rampart's journalism courses as a whole. This has been Caitlin O'Keefe reporting for KRAM.
Make sure to congratulate your fellow Rams.
The Sunrise Players is a local theater company made up of community members, several of which are Rampart High School students.
They are performing White Christmas for the next 2 weekends.
This musical can be seen at Sunrise Methodist Church today, November 11th, 12th, 17th, and 18th.
KRAM decided to look into the musical and the Rampart students that are a part of it.
Let yourself go, relax, and let yourself go.
White Christmas is a classic musical that Sunrise Players have brought back to their stage. The show is about two military veterans who love show business.
The show's about two World War II veterans, and they find a career in show business.
And then later on they meet a sister act, which is Betty and Judy.
And all of them travel up to Vermont together, and basically they save an inn that is owned by their former general now, and they save it, and it's really fun, and they perform, and musical.
So I play Susan. She is the granddaughter of General Waverly. I enjoy playing her because she's such a sassy little girl.
I play Judy Haynes, and she is spicy, spunky, quick-witted. She does what she wants and gets what she wants, and I just like that she's a very strong female character.
So I play Phil, one of the two veterans, and he's a very childish character. He doesn't take things too seriously. He definitely likes to poke fun at, especially his poor friend Bob. He's just so carefree, and I think he's a chill guy.
I play Rhoda, which is one of the Bobbsey twins, and she is super fun to play because she is described as a leggy chorus girl. She's also a twin, which is super fun to play, and it's just a really fun character. She has a pretty kind of stupid personality, and it's great.
So I play Rita, which is Rhoda's twin, and in the script we are quite literally two leggy chorus girls, and basically we're just flirting with Phil the whole time. We're head over heels for this man, even though he does not like us at all. But it's fine, and it's really fun to play his character because we can just be really sassy New Yorkers.
Most of the cast is full of returning members who enjoy the community that the Sunrise Players have.
I love Sunrise. It's a community, and it's one of the places where I feel most at home. And White Christmas has always been really near and dear to my heart. Before my grandpa and my grandma passed away, we would watch it every Christmas.
So I've always had a good experience with Sunrise Players, and even though I wasn't too sure what White Christmas was about, just working with this company again was always a blast, so definitely always good to come back to do another show with them.
The shows are November 10th, 11th, and 17th at 7 p.m. and November 12th and 18th at 3 p.m. They are performing at the Sunrise United Methodist Church. Student tickets are $8, adult tickets are $15, and military and senior tickets are $12. Come support your fellow Rams. We hope to see you there. This has been Danielle Sabel reporting for KRAM.
If you want to see the musical, you can find out ticket and performance information at sunriseplayers.com.
And with that, this has been Darius Melchuk-Banowski.
And this has been Tyson Kelly, signing off for KRAM.
I need to spit my gum out.
Woo! Woo!
No.
Yeet!
No. No.